Hi, my name's Jenny from Pause to Perform, and today I want to share with you 5 mistakes that people often make when trying to improve their health and fitness. And these are mistakes that I've made myself, and I'm hoping that by sharing them with you, you don't have to make the same mistakes as me, and then you can get to your goals quicker. So mistake number 1 is not doing resistance training. And I think for me, I was kind of scared of doing it for a long time. I just loved doing cardio, so I did loads and loads of cardio. And then even when I was doing weights, I was doing them kind of within HIIT workouts. And it was only about sort of 5 years or so ago, I started following a proper training program, structured reps and sets. And when I did so, I really noticed a massive difference in my body. So I felt like much stronger, obviously, doing strength training, but also like I had better definition and I had abs for the first time. And so I was always slim, but I didn't have that kind of defined look. So doing strength training is so beneficial. As we get older, we lose muscle mass. So we want to preserve it and also build it so it's there as we get older. It also helps you to burn more calories at rest. So there's so many benefits to strength training, but if you are worried about getting bulky, just know that it's very unlikely, it's very hard to put on muscle, but it will just give you loads of benefits. So that's the first mistake. And so mistake number 2 is all or nothing thinking or black and white thinking. You can also think of this in terms of kind of being a bit of a perfectionist. So when we decide we want to improve our health and fitness, we have ideals of how we need to go about it. And then if we don't meet these exacting standards that we have for ourselves, we kind of go into effort mode. So you think that you have to do like an hour in the gym, you have to have the perfect diet. And then if maybe you can't do an hour in the gym, you think there's no point doing anything. Or if you eat like a couple of biscuits, then you think like, oh, I might as well, my whole diet's gone to pot, I'm just going to have a binge day and then start again tomorrow. But if you, let's say you can't go to the gym, that's going to happen at some times, doing something's always better than nothing. So if you really can't do any workout, just go for a quick walk or taking the stairs instead of using the escalator or the lift. And with diet, let's say you eat a packet of crisps or a couple of biscuits or something, rather than thinking, right, that's it, I'm just going to eat everything, draw a line under it and then just eat healthily for the rest of the day. Over time, if you think about it, if you have gone for this big binge, you would have ended up eating a hell of a lot more calories, whereas if you just had a couple of biscuits, ate really well the rest of the day, it's not going to have that much of an impact. So that is mistake number 2. Number 3 is goals, or not having any goals, I should say. If we don't have any goals, then we don't know what we need to do to get where we want to get to, and we also don't know where we're trying to get to. So it's really important to have goals to provide structure and also just to keep us going. We can use SMART goals as a structure for this. So the S is for specific. We want to get really clear on what we're trying to achieve. So if it's weight, how much weight do you want to lose? And also when you're in this process, not only think about what you want to achieve, but also what achieving it will give you. So is it sort of having more energy so that you can play with children, grandchildren, anything like that? Really get down and deep into that. It will help to keep you motivated or disciplined when motivation is waning. And the M is for measurable. We want to be able to measure our progress. And then also that means that if we're not making progress, then we can make changes. So it's really important to be specific and keep tracking it along the way, making sure that we are doing the right things for said goal. And then the A is for action orientated. We want the things or goals that we can work towards that's in our control and is actionable. So we want to know what exactly we need to do, how you're going to do it, what could go wrong. So really focusing on this section on all the little things that you're going to need to do or resources you're going to need in order to achieve your goal. And then the R is for realistic. We want to set goals that we can achieve. It's very tempting to set these lofty goals, but if they're not achievable, it's going to result in being demotivated and giving up. So if you do have a really big goal, which is great, we want to break that down into smaller goals so that we can have these kind of sense of achievement along the way as we achieve those smaller goals, still working towards that bigger goal in the distance time frame wise. T is for time bound. We need to have an end date where we want to achieve this goal. This helps us to work out if we're on track as we measure it. And also, if it's just some random date in the future without anything being defined, it's very hard to work towards that. To have a clear date in mind that's realistic, and that will help you to keep on track and realise if what you're doing is going to get you there. And the final S is self-determined. These goals need to come from you, not something that you think you should do, because this again is likely to result in you not sticking to it because you don't really care about it. We want things to come from us, things that are really important to you, and that's going to help you to achieve these goals. So that is goal setting. And moving on to number 4, and that is to being too restrictive on your diet or denying yourself certain foods. So when we say to ourselves we're not allowed something, it just makes you crave it even more. If you sort of really like chocolate, let's say, saying you're not ever going to eat any chocolate is just not realistic, and it's likely that you won't be able to stick to it, and then you might give up completely. As long as you're in a calorie deficit, if you want to lose weight, then you're still going to lose weight even having small amounts of chocolate. And also it just means you're going to enjoy yourself. We don't want to do something that's going to make you miserable. When we're trying to improve our health and fitness, it's a lifestyle change, not a short-term fix. So you need something that you're going to be able to stick to long-term. And the other side of this is if you're too restrictive in that you're cutting your calories too low, it will have a negative impact because you'll have a lack of energy, which will have a knock-on impact in that you'll maybe not be able to get through your working day as well. You can't focus. You want to be able to give your workouts your all, because I would hope that you'd also be exercising if you're trying to improve your health and fitness. And overall, again, it's just be hard to stick to. You'll just feel awful. So we want to be eating enough to do all the things we love and still feel great, not being too restrictive. Also ties in with muscle mass. If you eat too few calories, then your body will start to use your muscle to give you that energy. So we want to preserve our muscle at all costs. So we want to just come into a little bit of a deficit if you're trying to lose weight. It's easy to stick to, and also will preserve our muscles, which then make us look better because we want those muscles for that toned look. And so all those things. So yeah, really important not to go too crazy on restricting your diet, calorie-wise and also food-wise. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves. And mistake number 5 is trying to change everything at once. And I totally understand. You sort of feel like, right, this is it. I'm going to make this change. I'm going to do all these things that are good for my health. The problem is when we try and change too many things, it's a big jump, and we always want to get back into equilibrium. And so we'll just end up slipping into our old ways. We want to start forming new healthy habits, which takes time. And the best way to do this is to go one at a time and make it small. So maybe if you want to go to bed earlier, start going to bed sort of 15 minutes earlier each night, get used to that new time, and then keep pushing the needle from there, rather than deciding that you're going to go to bed at sort of 9 o'clock when you normally go to bed at 12, because you probably won't sleep. And also with things like the gym, if you decide I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week, that might be unrealistic. You'd only manage, let's say, 3. And then going into that all or nothing thinking, you might be like, right, that's it, I've failed, and then give up completely. So small little steps, get it into a habit, and then you can add in the next thing. So those are my 5 mistakes. I hope you can learn my lessons and not make them yourself. I hope you find that useful and you can start putting them into practice, or not putting them into practice, I should say. And I will be sharing some more tips with you going forward.